Hi there, my name is Janet Gershon-Siegel, and I'm the Lonely Writer. This is serious social media help for the independent writer, and that's an author who does not yet have an agent. I'm a master's degree candidate at Quinnipiac University, and this is my capstone project. Today I'm going to be talking about writing a query letter. Now, a query letter is just the cover letter that goes along with your submission to a publisher or an agent. These vary in length, but your first absolute job is look at what the recipient wants. And almost always this is going to be on either Twitter or it's going to be on the website for a publisher or an agent themselves. If they want it double-spaced, they want it as part of the body of the note, they want it as an attachment, they want it in Times New Roman, whatever they want, this is what you're going to do. They say they want the first 3 chapters, don't give them your entire manuscript, give them the first 3 chapters. Rather than giving you an example, it's really just best to show you what a successful modern query letter looks like. So please feel free to go to writersdigest.com, look up what they liked. So imagine your work showcased in that manner. Change the genre, change the character names, and you've got the bare bones of a query letter, but of course you want to personalize it quite a bit. Another suggestion is start checking lots of successful query letters. Look at those which are recent. Look at those which are in your genre. If they are beloved by your target, that is even better. I know it's easier said than done, but please try not to make yourself crazy over this. It is quite understandable to be anxious about this. But practicing is what is going to help you, not just in terms of writing better queries, but also in terms of sending them and waiting around for whatever might happen to them. It's going to help with your nervousness as well, because you're going to keep getting better at presenting yourself and your work. Please understand that many famous writers were rejected many times before they were finally accepted and published. Feel free to Google Stephen King and J.K. Rowling, both of whom were quite famously rejected many times, and of course are wildly successful now. So keep on plugging. Try not to get discouraged. The basics, again, what you want to do is don't annoy the recipient of your query. You don't want an incorrectly created query to be the technicality on which your manuscript is rejected, because believe me, that's what's going to happen. They're going to take one look at your query and say, I don't want this. Now, one of the reasons why they might be saying, let's say, for example, that they want to see your query within the body of an email is maybe they've had issues with people sending them viruses. There may be other reasons for this. It's not to make your life harder. It's because they are trying to do the best for themselves. You've got to follow the directions, and if you're unsure of the instructions, one of the ways you can do so is you can help yourself is by asking on a place like Twitter. Other suggestions, to reiterate, look at successful query letters. They should be recent ones, though, and they should be within your genre. If you write historical fiction, then look at start Googling successful query letter historical fiction. You might need to branch out a little bit and look at historical romance and a few other things that are related genres, but that's where you should be targeting, because a successful horror query isn't going to really help you that much. Keep looking for, also Google what does your target want. Once again, this militates in the direction of being very specific as to who you write to. Don't just spray your shots. You want to write directly to a publishing house or an agent who represents your genre. So if you are writing a memoir, you will only want to be sending to places that are going to publish or represent people who write memoirs. You don't want to deal with anybody else, because that's just gonna grind you down, and it's gonna be for no good reasons. You're gonna waste everybody's time. Keep practicing. Another thing you might want to do is work with your beta readers and ask them what was interesting about your work and what do they think stood out. Query letters are both an art and a science, and what useful is going to work one time might not work tomorrow, even with the same person. If you get more than a form rejection, please look at it carefully. The fault might not be in the query at all. The query might be perfect. It might just be that the work is not something that the publisher or agent feels is going to sell at this time. Don't be discouraged. A quick pep talk. Please keep plugging. Queries are a rite of passage for every single author, and you can do it. Finally, this is Janet Gershon-Siegel for The Lonely Writer, because an independent writer never has to be alone. Thanks very much for listening.